Red Flags of Emotional Repression, Part 5, Advice Giving. Giving unsolicited advice is a common symptom of codependency. And codependency is just another word that we use for emotional repression. So here's the mechanics of why we do it. Let's say I have buried anger or hurt in my body from childhood. In order to minimize having to acknowledge, access, feel, or express these buried emotions, I have to arrange my life in a certain way, right? I need these people to do this. I need these other people to not do that so that I don't have to feel what's buried. If you don't know what Al-Anon is, it's a recovery program that they say is for friends and families of alcoholics and addicts. But it's a little bit of a bait and switch because it's really for people that are addicted to managing and controlling other people, but they can't say that to sell it, because no one would come. Anyways, it's a good program. I did it for 10 years, and there are 3 slogans that they have in Al-Anon that are applicable to what I want to talk about today. The first is, no more advice giving. The second, resign as general manager of the universe. And the third is, don't prevent a crisis if it's in the natural course of events. All 3 of these fly directly in the face of what most Al-Anons tend to naturally do, which is manage and control other people. In their case, the alcoholic or the addict. And this is really important, even under the guise of helping, right? Or with good intentions. Now, when I was in Al-Anon, all I knew was, like the alcoholic has a compulsion to drink, I had a compulsion to manage and control other people and external circumstances, right? What I didn't know, and I found out years later, was why. And it's for the same reason that the alcoholic drinks, that the philosopher philosophizes, that the meditator meditates, that the believer believes. I have to manage and control other people, like I said earlier, so I don't have to access, feel, and express the buried emotions in my body. If those are in place and I'm giving you advice, that's me trying to control and manage you, even if I don't realize it and I think I'm just trying to be helpful or something. And I'm doing it so that I don't have to feel what's buried inside of me, right? The classic codependent mantra is, I need you to be okay so I can be okay. And in the language of emotional repression, it's, if I'm trying to control my own emotions, which is what repression is, then I'm definitely going to try to control others and their emotions too. Also, I don't have to feel something. So advice giving isn't ultimately the issue. It's the emotional repression that underlies and drives it that makes it a red flag. We've all probably had experiences of people giving us advice where it felt clean, clear, healthy, helpful, and not coming from emotional repression. And that's great. It's harmless, it's welcomed, but here's what to watch for. If someone's giving you advice and it feels like they're coming from fear, that's the emotional repression at play. So trust yourself in that. And this goes for us too. If we find ourselves giving advice that feels like it's coming from fear, we can stop and go, oh, okay, yeah, this is my emotional repression. I'm not really trying to be helpful here. I'm trying to avoid my feelings. So if you've hit the wall with trying to manage and control people in your life and you want to stop giving advice, or you want to resign as general manager of the universe, or you want to start allowing for natural crises, then come give our emotional repression work a try in the Killer Bee Inquiries. Because there's a lot of freedom from codependency to be had when we start clearing the body of repression and buried emotions. You can learn how to do that right here.